Today, we're diving into the core ideas from one of the most popular personal finance books ever written, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, this isn't some step-by-step manual. It's really a book that's meant to completely flip how you think about money. The whole idea of the book is built around a really simple but powerful story. It's about Kiyosaki's experience growing up with two very different father figures, and each one taught him a completely different way to look at wealth. And this is where you can really see the clash between those two mindsets. On one side, you've got his poor dad, who was actually his biological father, a very educated man who gave him the traditional advice we all hear. And on the other side, you have rich dad, his best friend's father, who was an entrepreneur, and he gave pretty much the exact opposite advice. It really boils down to this. Are you going to work for your money, or are you going to have your money work for you? So you might be wondering, what's so wrong with that traditional advice? I mean, it sounds pretty safe, doesn't it? Well, according to the book, that conventional path often leads people right into a financial trap. And that trap has a name, the rat race. This is the #1 problem the book is trying to solve. You know that feeling of being stuck on a hamster wheel? You work harder, you make more money, but then your lifestyle just expands and your expenses go up, so you never actually get ahead. You're just running faster in the same spot. And man, this just lays out that frustrating loop perfectly, doesn't it? Your paycheck comes in and then whoosh, it immediately flows right back out to pay for the mortgage, the car, the taxes, everything else. Before you know it, you're broke again and you have to go right back to work to start the whole cycle over. So how in the world do you break free from that cycle? Well, the book argues that to escape the rat race, you basically have to throw out that old rule book and start playing by a completely new set of rules. And this quote, this is pretty much rule #1 in that new rule book. It is the absolute core of Rich Dad's philosophy. The goal isn't just to get a bigger paycheck. The goal is to own things, to build systems that make money for you, whether you're actively working or not. Which, of course, leads us to the big question, right? Okay, sounds great, but how? How do you actually do that? How do you get your money to start working for you? According to Kiyosaki, the answer starts with really, truly understanding the difference between two words that we all think we know, assets and liabilities. Okay, first up, an asset. Now, forget any complicated definition you've ever heard. Rich Dad's definition is just brutally simple. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. That's it. If it pays you to own it, it's an asset. And on the flip side, you have a liability. And yeah, it's just as simple. It's anything that takes money out of your pocket. If it costs you money every single month just to own it, it's a liability. Now, this right here is so important because it shows how that one simple difference changes the entire game. For the poor and the middle class, money comes in from a job and it flows right back out to pay for expenses and liabilities. But look at the rich. They use their income to buy assets, and those assets then generate more income. It's a completely different cycle that just keeps building on itself. So what do these real assets that actually pay you look like? Well, the book gives a few clear examples. We're talking about things like rental properties that actually have a positive cash flow, or stocks that pay you dividends, maybe a business that can run without you having to be there all the time, or even royalties from something you created like a book or music. All right, now get ready, because this is where the book really challenges what most of us have been taught. Things that we think are assets, like our own house, are actually liabilities according to this definition. Why? Because the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, the repairs, all of that takes money out of your pocket every month. The same thing goes for your car payment and all that consumer debt. Okay, so once you have this new way of looking at things, what's the actual game plan? How do you really start to build that financial freedom for yourself? Well, Kiyosaki offers 2 key lessons to get you started. First, mind your own business. What he means is your job is what pays the bills. That's your profession. But your business is your asset column. So you should be focused on building that on the side. Second, work to learn, not to earn. Basically, choose jobs for the skills you can pick up. Things like sales, marketing, leadership, not just for the size of the paycheck. Because in the long run, those skills are what's going to help you build real wealth. So let's bring this all home and focus on the single most important first step you can possibly take. Before you buy any stocks, any property, or start any business, the book argues that you have to invest in the most powerful asset you already have, and that is your mind. Getting a financial education, learning how money actually works, that's the real foundation of all wealth. And we'll leave you with this one question to think about. Take a really hard, honest look at your own finances and ask yourself this: what in my life is actually putting money in my pocket, and what is taking money out? Answering that question honestly might just be the first step on a completely new path.